This video is meant to be an overview of a trip to Europe led by Gregg and Kami Talcott. We have had the great fortune of leading numerous groups of adults and students to Europe over the years, and these trips that we're creating now are meant to be for adults only. This trip will be a group size of 24 to 32 people. We will be visiting Rome and Pompeii in Italy, as well as obviously Vatican City. Numerous stops in our short time in Albania and Montenegro, more extended time in Croatia, and then finally a couple of days in Budapest at the end of the trip. We will be using a company that we have traveled with the last 4 trips, Explorica. We feel very comfortable with the work that they do. They will provide us with a tour director who will meet us in Rome and stay with us throughout the entire trip. Here we are pictured with Jamie, who's been our tour guide the last couple of trips and is on board with being the tour guide for this trip as well. Explorica has numerous services and is available throughout the trip and as well as beforehand. What a great opportunity this is to travel with family and with friends and to see sights and to create memories that will certainly last a lifetime. We encourage you to talk to other people who have traveled with us in the past to see what their experience has been like. What is included in this trip is round-trip airfare from Minneapolis. There is land-only pricing available for people who might be closer to another exit city or for people who have travel points and the like, and they would rather get only land-only pricing. This is an adult trip, so there are 2 people to a room as opposed to 4 in a student trip. And if you wish to have your own room, you certainly can. You pay a little bit more of a fee for that. Breakfast will be provided every day, and many of the suppers will be provided. There will be a few times that we won't do that just so that it creates greater flexibility for you as travelers. We will have tours of every city by a local guide or by someone like Jamie. We will get entry fees and in-depth visits to numerous sites as noted in the itinerary that is also available to you. Transportation from city to city and throughout each city for group outings is also provided, as well as numerous other items. What is not provided is transportation to and from your gateway city. Passports and visa costs, though there may not be visa costs at this point, we'll see. And many of you probably already have a valid passport. Lunches are not provided, nor obviously are souvenirs and some of the dinners as noted. And then if you wish to go to very specific other kinds of stops along the way in a city and they're not on the tour, that certainly is up to you. Tips for the Explorica tour director and long distance bus driver are not provided, though there may be some assistance with that, and those tips are not very large. Local tour guides and bus drivers, those tips are provided for by Explorica. Let's take a few minutes to go through the tour to see what it is you would see. We will start in Rome, where we will fly in, and we will be seeing many of these sites: the Colosseum, the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, Pantheon. Then, of course, we'll spend an entire day with the religious Rome, which means Vatican City, St. Peter's Basilica, Sistine Chapel, the Pieta, Vatican museums, just so many things to see. We'll also spend a significant amount of time in ancient Rome, which of course we talked about the Colosseum before, but the Roman Forum, we'll get to go down into there and see what that is like. Walking tour, have this pointed out to us by a local city Rome guide. On our last day, from Rome, we will travel on to Pompeii, where we will spend the day wandering the city and getting a tour of historic Pompeii, and then off to the coast, where we will board a night ferry that will take us across the sea and bring us into Albania, where we will make visits into a couple of cities. This is certainly one of my son's favorite places to visit has been Albania. So we have all sorts of sites along the way, and it's so beautiful. Everything that you can see about Albania leads us to believe that we will love our time there. And then again, we will make our way to Budva, where we'll spend an evening, but along the way, we will also see um, sites in Montenegro, and especially including a stop in Kotor, one of my youngest son's favorite stops. Both of my boys love their time in Croatia, especially Dubrovnik, and so we will be in multiple Croatian cities. Dubrovnik certainly being the highlight, and we'll spend a little more time there than any place else. Split is another favorite spot in Croatia, and will provide us with amazing views and walks through very historic spaces and places. Opportunities to go through and see churches and overlooks and museums. And then on to Plitvice National Park, where we will be inundated with waterfalls and natural scenery that this part of Croatia is known for. We will finish the trip in Hungary, where we will spend a couple of days in the Budapest, the capital city, and certainly one of the great highlights for anybody who's ever been there. I have been long waiting to get to Budapest, so I'm very, very excited about adding this trip and this portion to the itinerary. Some things to be aware of. This is a private tour that has a unique itinerary. So the only people on this tour are people connected to us. People from outside of our group are not allowed to join this group. Pricing is based on 24 to 29 travelers. If we have more, which we anticipate, then everybody gets a slight reduction in their tour. If we do not have 24, if we're 23 or less, then we would see an additional cost. I would find that hard to believe based on the incredible amount of interest that I've received so far. There are multiple payment options through Explorica. Pay it all at once, pay it in a monthly format, pay it in 3 payments. That's something that you work out with the company. The company provides travel insurance if you wish. You do not have to purchase it, and you can also, if you want travel insurance, purchase your own. I would encourage you, considering the amount of money that you're spending, to consider looking at travel insurance as an option. Explorica will be providing pricing in early January, and we'll share that information as soon as we get it. There are various payment options available through Explorica, like we talked about. Land-only pricing, which we also talked about, is certainly a possibility, and I'll have that pricing in January. If you have questions, feel free to send me a text, to call me, or to email me. If you are interested, I would encourage you to email me or to text me your name and email and so forth, so I can get you on our list so you continue to get information about this trip. Also, to be aware that in early September, we'll be leading a more traditional trip in 2026 to London, Paris, Lucerne, Florence, and Rome. So if this trip is not quite what you're looking for, perhaps that trip is something that you would be looking for, and you can reach out to me and I will send you information about that as well. So excited to share this venture, and hope that you reach out if you're interested. Thanks.